Ladies and gentlemen, almost graduates, welcome. Graduation ceremonies are long. The ISL graduation ceremony is certainly long. And in some, but not all respects, graduation ceremonies are also quite similar. At ISL, we don't have caps and gowns, we don't shift the tassel from one side to another, and we don't throw mortarboards up into the air. Nobody mentions that they hurt when they come down. But we do ask young people to walk across a stage after what seems to be an interminable wait. We do hand over a piece of paper. Parents do cry with pride, or sometimes sigh with relief. We do speeches, unfortunately. It's not all that remarkable that most graduations share the same traditions, because of course they're all making the same statement. Days as a student are over. Life as an adult citizen is beginning. And tomorrow, our students will realise, just like many, many others before them, that the day after feels different, because it is different. The students would have taken a symbolic step to the next chapter of their life in front of classmates and teachers. People who supported them emotionally and financially will both have teared up and beamed. All of that hard work and dedication will have been recognised. But I think that, much as our graduation is similar to others, it's also unique. It's unique because a school is a sum of its parts, and I think we're a community like no other. Later, Simon and Sarah will talk through what it is that makes this such a singular and amazing group of young people. But I think this year, our graduation is particularly unique, if something can be particularly unique, because this is not how any of us imagined it would be. Now, we can certainly all feel a sense of loss for not being together. And I think we can certainly also point to a list of things leading up to today that were far harder than they should have been. But it's certainly old wisdom that while we can't control events, we can control our reactions to them. And I think we can see, perhaps more clearly as a result of these very difficult circumstances, that whatever those circumstances, it's us and our choices that shape a particular moment. The author, David Brooks, talks about choices and choosing, and he says that freedom is not an ocean that you want to swim in for any length of time. It's a river that you want to get across so that you can commit and choose to plant yourself on the other side. What I think will happen as a result of the difficulties of this period is that it will teach us all something about this choosing and about how there is more in all of us than we think. And this group of young people, I think, will know that better than most. And that is a superpower. So I want to acknowledge that backdrop here and say how proud I am of these young people for all they have done at school. I also want to acknowledge how well that they have chosen to manage the past months. As well as the great hopes we have for you, we have even greater trust that you'll go on to choose bright futures. So well done, and welcome to what comes next. And now it's my pleasure to introduce Silvan Hoevenaars, the chair of the board. Silvan is from the Netherlands, and he has a daughter in Year 7 who, if she is anything at all like my children, will be only too pleased that she isn't here to listen to her dad make a speech. Silvan.
Thank you, Frazer. So as I said, my name is Silvan Hoevenaars. I chair the board of ISL, and it is a pleasure to see each and every one of you here in person. The organizing committee has done an amazing job to make this event happen. I'm honored to celebrate the class of 2020. This is about you. During your time at school, you will have likely not encountered the board very often. We're mainly focused on planning the long term for ISL. And I can imagine that you've been doing quite a bit of planning in these last few months and this year at school. And things don't always go according to plan. Just consider the unprecedented global situation around the outbreak of the coronavirus. We, as a board, have been thinking about you and what this has meant in terms of your final exams, your graduation, or maybe even university enrollment. We have been painfully aware of the impact this crisis has had in this final year at ISL, the most critical part of your studies for the IB diploma. But we believe that the program at ISL has equipped you with self-knowledge, confidence, and ambition for the uncertainty ahead. You've learned to work hard, to think independently, to collaborate across boundaries in backgrounds, cultures, and ideas. You are ready to take an active role in creating the future. Your future, our future. Think about the future you would like to create, because sure enough, your efforts will help shape it. And please do remember ISL as you start your new journey. You have an open invitation to come back and help our school, be it as a member of staff, an ASA coach, a parent, or a member of the board. Stay connected through the alumni network. This is a powerful network available to you as you make your way in the world. In closing, I would like to thank the parents for their contribution to the ISL community. This is your day too. Thank you to the teachers and staff for the dedication to make our children into the fine human beings they are today. And to the class of 2020, today is about you, about being proud of your achievements. So congratulations. Now it's my pleasure to introduce or welcome Sarah Gifford, our principal of the high school, as well as Simon Foley, principal of secondary school.
That we are here today to celebrate these magnificent young people is truly an honour and no small miracle, that for which we are truly grateful. Whilst we do not have speeches from Michelle Obama or Bill Gates, what we do have is a personal graduation with something said about each student, our own potential future world leaders. As Mr. Cairns alluded to, with 49 graduates, this morning may feel a little long. Although we apologise for the length of the ceremony, we believe these fine young people are worth it. Thank you to the many colleagues and parents whose hard work made today possible. In particular, the excellent Year 13 homeroom team for contributing anecdotes and fond memories and writing the first draft of these lovely speeches. We hope we can do them justice.
Each graduating student was asked to contribute a handful of photos of their time in the diploma program. Thank you to all of you who did this. We have selected and edited, swapped and cropped, and for some of you, we've even hunted for the photos ourselves. So if you do not see exactly what you sent us, please forgive us. Any changes have been made with love and the best of intentions.
As our Year 13 graduates leave the school they know and love, to embark upon the next stage of their education, we want to pay tribute to each individual student on behalf of their teachers and the ISL community. They have modelled our values, and we know that their honesty and care and concern for others will allow them to be open to differing perspectives, values, and traditions as they journey through life.
This morning, we proudly celebrate their achievements and fondly remember the challenges they have faced along the way. They came to ISL as children and leave as responsible adults and true global citizens. They leave with energy and optimism, good values and kind hearts, excitement and a sense of fun. We ceremonially launch them into the big wide world, a world that needs their energy and their idealism, their optimism and their passion. We'd like to start now with our first student, Quentin Bachelot. Our first graduate today is Quentin. Often described as a loyal and supportive friend, Quentin was a great addition to the school at the beginning of year 12, even if his first interactions with his teachers were to tease them about aching bodies in old age during the Verbier trip. This articulate and enlightened thinker embraced the challenges of the diploma program and never failed to greet all members of the school community with a grin and a kind word. His caring and mature attitude will be dearly missed. Quentin's innovative mind will serve him well as he studies product design in Lausanne, Paris, or Scotland. Ladies and gentlemen, Quentin Bachelot.
Millie undoubtedly made the most of these last 2 years by creating deeply meaningful friendships. As she settled into life at ISL, she unveiled a dry, pragmatic sense of humour which will be sorely missed by those who've been lucky to know this special young person. When the IB Diploma, or Life in Switzerland, came particularly challenging, Millie was always able to bond with her teachers in that typically British way, namely with Marmite discussing Boris Johnson and a nice cup of tea. Millie heads to her home country to study English and philosophy at the University of Liverpool. Ladies and gentlemen, Millie Baker.
Anyone who knows Kevin Banasic will know he's a role model. Thanks to his generous, respectful, and joyful demeanor, Kevin always embodies the spirit teachers hope to engender at ISL. His deep commitment to serving the school and the wider community manifested itself in many forms, for Kevin has systematically shown care and concern for others. From that famous Wacky Week suit to an infectious smile and a heart as big as a planet, ISL's community will be slightly poor for his departure as he heads to the University of St. Andrews in Scotland to study film. Ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Banasic.
One of Life's listeners, Tiago, has done a wonderful job of balancing the rigorous training regime of an elite swimmer with the demands of an intense IB diploma programme. And we are thrilled to have this intelligent young man at least partially with us for another year as he completes his studies post-high school graduation. Calm, thoughtful and articulate, Tiago is the only student to ever ask me for a regular place to sleep during the school day, as he recovers from the training effects of a 5-kilometre swim at 5:30 every morning. Once Tiago completes his IB diploma course, he intends to study in the USA. We suspect that this will be whichever university has the best swim team. Ladies and gentlemen, Tiago Baja. Steph, an unflappable Year 13 ambassador. Her rational thinking and diplomacy, along with rock-solid relationships, have made her an ideal candidate for this role. Steph made many promises to become elected, and she never wavered in meeting them. Her leadership skills were on full display when she took charge of hair and makeup for the production of Our Country's Good. We are still having nightmares about her work on Killian's gruesomely scarred back. Her witty, understated presence, which is undoubtedly a facade, almost guarantees success as she now heads to King's College London to study business management. Ladies and gentlemen, Estefania Bissig. That's you, Miss Gifford.
Blessed with the warm and open personality, when people heard Brooks singing during the Little Shop of Horrors, it was clear she was already a star. A shining light in class, Brooke is creative, brave, and considerate, along with being genuinely kind and thoughtful. It makes us all wish we could all be a little bit more nice like this. A linguist so good that her Spanish teacher and classmates officially translated her name to Beatriz. For everything that Beatriz does, she does with a smile and 100% commitment. We are confident this will be no different when studying international law and international relations at the IE University in Spain. Ladies and gentlemen, Brooke Bambaco.
A well-mannered, thoughtful, and respectful young man, I'm not sure his parents agree, Ben has been a wonderful addition to the ISL community. In a short space of time, he has helped shape the spirit of the year group and certainly its musical taste. Ben has an acute sense of fun while always being considerate of those around him. A young man with his heart in exactly the right place to make a positive change for the future. Ben is planning to study environmental sustainability and business management at the University in Leeds in the UK. His resilience and strength will serve him well. Ladies and gentlemen, Ben Clinton.
Joe's graduation cannot pass without mention of IB recap ! A not always entirely accurate, but lovingly and painstakingly created and marketed revision tool for IB students. From the first days in year 13 at Biarritz, Joe quickly demonstrated his ability to make friends and meet new people using his enviable charisma and open personality. The highly reflective and industrious young man took an approach which impressed everyone around him. This will unquestionably be the case as he heads to the University of Durham in the United Kingdom to study computer science. Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Clinton.
High-spirited, independent, and self-determined, Kat will make you wait until she is sure that she trusts you. For this is a young woman whose respect you must earn. But once you do, she's funny, thoughtful, and creative. Kat has a very clear picture of exactly what she understands and exactly what help she's asking for. Determined and self-assured, this reflective and articulate individual loves to do things her way, including arriving at class on time. As you now head to the École Hôtelière de Lausanne, a bright future in hospitality awaits. Ladies and gentlemen, Catalina Crotti.
Georgia may come across as quiet and shy, but her reserved attitude does not prevent her from creating the tightest of friendships. Underneath this unassuming attitude, her sheer determination to succeed will undoubtedly take her places. From service for EVAM to participation in concert band, Georgia has been a multifaceted member of this year group. Her organization and commitment to her studies have been outstanding, and we will miss her positive outlook on life as she leaves us to study sociology at the University of London. Ladies and gentlemen, Georgia Curti. Do not be fooled by Greta's gentle smile, for it masks an iron will. Greta is greatly appreciated amongst her peers. She is positive, friendly, and never short of an opinion. Greta certainly did not spare her homeroom teachers any debate on the merits of the social emotional learning program these last 2 years. Decisively creative in her collaborative project, it's clear Greta thrives when playing different personas. The production of Our Country's Good allowed her to indulge her passion for grandeur when playing the pompous Watkin Tench. Greta now heads to Twente in the Netherlands to study psychology, and we are sure they are in for some interesting discussions. Ladies and gentlemen, Greta Della Giacomo.
Sharp as a knife, cool as a cucumber, and nicer than the Pope, Diego is known as a true gentleman by his peers. Not only does he have the passion and the earring of an archetypical gifted footballer, but he is also an excellent student, and perhaps less obviously, an expert yoga instructor. Who would have guessed it? With such a range of talents and the work ethic of a Siberian husky dog, we are confident that Diego has a very bright future ahead of him. We wish him well as he leaves us to apply his charisma and all-round niceness to international management at the University of Warwick. Ladies and gentlemen, Diego Diaz. Some people just radiate sunshine, and Pink is one of those individuals. Possessing an outstanding mathematical brain, he is empathetic, beautifully mannered, and always supportive of others. We can guarantee that he will not be remembered for using offensive language during one of his French oral assignments. One small slip in what has been an impeccable period in which we have been fortunate enough to know this embodiment of ISL values. We wish Ping the best as he's planning to study chemical engineering at EPFL. Ladies and gentlemen, Ping Dam Nern Chan Wanit. Some people dance to the beat of their own drum. And as we prepare to say a fond farewell to Daniel, we know that the school will be a slightly more boring, if certainly tidier, place without his presence. Daniel never fails to passionately share his unique perspective and throw himself into any debate, even when uninvited or when it's not even remotely connected to the lesson's topic. Always the last to arrive to any lesson, and equally the last to leave, we will almost miss the trail of Daniel's lost items around the school. I have personally found and returned Daniel's mobile phone every single day for 5 years. A gifted scientist and certainly an intellect, we wish Daniel well as he leaves us to join the University of Toronto, where he'll study life sciences. Ladies and gentlemen, Daniel Friedman. Daniel, please put the diploma somewhere safe. No, never mind.
Ellis is a true creative spirit, and her bold artwork ably demonstrates her depth of emotion and thought. Her spirit also shows through the many service opportunities she was involved in, especially those connected to wildlife conservation. This thoughtful and empathetic young woman greatly values her friendships and connects easily with many teachers. After months of hard work in visual arts and under the keen eye of Mr. Nobbs, Ellis plans to study for a degree in visual arts at Ravenburn University in London. We wish her great luck in her endeavors. Ladies and gentlemen, Ellis Gibson. Ellis? Both resilience and determination are critical factors to success in life. Conversely, these traits are some that are incredibly hard to teach. Nevertheless, Fleur has shown great determination and grit throughout the diploma program, at times almost pushing herself to the point of exhaustion to meet the demands of the courses and her own lofty goals. Friendships are critical to this principled student. She never hesitates to pay back or pay forward kindness to others. Fleur leaves us to study a degree in psychology and behavior sciences at the London School of Economics. What a perfect degree choice. Ladies and gentlemen, Fleur Hoevenaars.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you can just bear with us while we have a moment to change the students on the stage. With a power of passion and persistence, Meryl is enthusiastic, goal-driven, and talented in equal measure. One of life's critical thinkers, Meryl will tell you gently if she disagrees with you, and will wait politely to hear what you have to say. She is almost always right. A quiet achiever in sports, Meryl approached her games with copious talent and a flair that made her inspiring to watch. Her intelligence, calm, and determination will be important assets as she moves to the University of Geneva to study medicine. Ladies and gentlemen, Meryl Hyatt.
Jasmine is a caring, attentive friend, and the bonds that she created over the 3 years at ISL are a testament to the trust she inspires. She fully understands that simple human actions, such as companionship and lending a listening ear, can allow people to forget their worries and be themselves in her presence. She will be remembered for her deep honesty, her dry sense of humor, and a love for deadline extensions, all of which have made her time with us so precious. Planning to study forensic science at the Kingston University, London, Jasmine's compassion leaves the school a better place. Ladies and gentlemen, Jasmine Howard.
A larger-than-life character, during his time at ISL, Cillian has demonstrated a huge range of talents. Actor, musician, swimmer, debater, athlete, online chess player during lessons, the list is endless. Known for his playful sense of humour and free spirit, Cillian has also selflessly helped to train his teacher's reflexes by wearing his headphones every day, at the least likely of times in the least likely of places. We know that Cillian will make the most of his natural charm and ready sense of humour as he goes on to study at the École Hôtelière de Lausanne. Ladies and gentlemen, Cillian Kaiser.
Elliot immediately strikes everyone lucky enough to meet him as friendly, respectful, and polite. His time at ISL has meant a great deal to him, as have the close relationships that he has formed. He has an amazing knack to start each new day afresh and see this clean slate for the opportunities that it offers. Elliot has really embraced his creative side during his design course, so it is with pleasure that we watch him head to Southampton Solent University to pursue a degree in design, a subject that he loves. Ladies and gentlemen, Elliot Kenyon.
Kenji joined ISL at the start of year 13, and we've rarely seen him apart from his soulmates, Nathan and Takumi, since. This was particularly the case in the Bay Ridge trip, where whilst battling to stand on a surfboard himself, he took great comfort in the difficulties his friends were facing. At first glance, this thoughtful young man strikes observers as quiet. Don't be fooled. His disarming honesty and razor-sharp remarks have made us all smile and appreciate his unique outlook on life. We wish Kenji the very, very best as he plans to study neuroscience at King's College London. We are just sorry that Nathan and Takumi are not coming with you. Ladies and gentlemen, Kenji Lambertini.
Lucas likes two things, talking and acting. Homework is often known to come third. Luckily, this young man brought his considerable creative flair to ISL, showcasing impressive acting and singing performances as a sadistic dentist in Little Shop of Horrors and Wisehammer in Our Country's Good. Always on stage, even in lessons, Lucas approached his dream of studying the performing arts with sheer determination, flying to the UK weekend after weekend to attend interviews and auditions until dreams came true. Lucas plans to study for a bachelor's degree in professional acting at the Royal Birmingham Conservatoire in the UK. Ladies and gentlemen, Lucas Leach.
Although he cannot be here in person today, Larry, if you're watching us at home, you have impressed us from the very first time we met you. You have maturity, independence, and kindness. You are both respectful and respected, appreciated by your classmates and your teachers alike. With wisdom beyond your years and impeccable social skills, we don't doubt you will go far. From Lausanne to your current quarantine in China, we wish you the very best as you eventually head to Canada to study biochemistry at McGill University. Ladies and gentlemen, Larry Lee. Okay, you go. It's okay, don't worry. You can just go one forward for the slides and then we'll come one back. Thank you.
All the way.
Just
One more.
There
Thank
we
you.
go.
Okay.
We got there.
Sorry, Juan Pablo. Yeah. Okay. Why wait till after university to start a business? Knowledgeable, motivated, and kind, Juan Pablo began his entrepreneurial career long before today's graduation ceremony. Described as one of the most motivated economics students ever, and always mindful of opportunities to give back, his social enterprise currently provides online IB tuition to less advantaged students. As a Dean Scholar, Juan Pablo will undertake the World Bachelor in Business program, in which he will pursue 3 degrees at the University of Southern California, the Hong Kong University of Science and Technology, and Bocconi University. Ladies and gentlemen, Juan Pablo Lopez Ruiz.
And if you can just close your eyes for one moment while we move the slides back. He says, hopefully. Wonderful, thank you. Lola is quite simply one of the kindest and most polite students that you could ever wish to meet or have the honour to teach. She's been a key part of ISL's hugely successful basketball team, contributing not only her sporting talent and incredible long shots, but also her thoughtfulness, generosity, and always taking new team members under her wing. Enviably known to be one of ISL's best dressed people, she even made her own graduation dress today. It is therefore no surprise to us that Lola plans to study fashion and management at the Istituto Maragoni in Milan and London. Ladies and gentlemen, Lola Malherbe. To say Suhasini is highly regarded by the faculty is a vast understatement. Her teachers commend her for a strong moral compass, for she sticks to her beliefs and defends them with reason and passion. The only downside of working with such talented high school students is that they eventually leave. Suhasini's fierce intelligence and her bravery will be sorely missed. We're incredibly proud of you, Suhasini, as you pursue a degree in clinical psychology and Child Studies in Human Development at Tufts University in Boston. We will particularly miss your writing in our high school newspaper, The High. Ladies and gentlemen, Suhasi Mehra.
Fiercely committed, meticulous, and modest, Aitana has embraced life at ISL. If it existed, she tried it. Basketball, volleyball, EVAM, Lausanne, Model United Nations, and the Tanzania service trip, to name just a few. Never shying away from hard work, Aitana will always view a challenge as an opportunity to grow. She is so diligent and detailed in her work that her teachers only need read the first half of every answer before the maximum marks are awarded. We wish her well as she takes her energy and talents to study biomedical science at King's College London. Ladies and gentlemen, Aitana Miracle.
Inigo's charm and genuine good nature will take him far. In fact, while school has gone very well, we predict that he will do even better in the only test that really matters, the real world. He's known for being friendly, the first to ask, "How are you today?" Forever patient with his teachers, greeting him daily with the same old joke, "In you go, Inigo." A passionate golfer and a dedicated member of the backstage and tech team, Inigo's interests run deep. We wish him all the very best as he leaves us to study business and marketing, either at the University of Stirling in Scotland or at IE in Spain. His manners will take him far. Ladies and gentlemen, Inigo Morales Corbella.
Mild-mannered and loyal, and benefiting from a great sense of humor and intuition, Nathan has been an excellent addition to ISL in the last year of high school. His skills on the football field are only matched by his beautiful piano playing. Fearless, and despite being new, he was the first guest musician of the year in our high school assemblies. Thank you for that, Nathan. With strong and sometimes contrarian opinions on particular topics, he will defend them eloquently, but always with respect and willingness to listen to the opposing side. Nathan leaves us to study economics at Lancaster University Business School. Ladies and gentlemen, Nathan Odling-Smee.
Marco is what we would describe in his mother tongue as un personaggio, a personality. Slightly hot-headed, disarmingly direct, but softening over time, Marco can be his own hardest critic. However, this dedicated, passionate, and driven student has many talents, as we witnessed recently on the stage here at ISL. His only regret was that his part had no possibility to remove his shirt. Having lived alone for much of the last year, a mature and balanced Marco leaves us to study economics and finance in Milan. We wish him every success. Ladies and gentlemen, Marco Oliveri.
In the yearbook, Vanessa confesses that the only deadlines she met were her friends' birthdays. We couldn't possibly comment on this, but we can admit that ushering Vanessa through the IB diploma has generated more than a few gray hairs for Mr. Alexander. While the pressure of time was undaunting to Vanessa, one only needs to look as far as her incredibly skillful artwork to understand that what she accomplishes is incredible when she puts her mind to it. As Vanessa leaves to study business and management in Paris, she will leave behind much more than the minty aroma of gum the teachers were forever asking her to spit out. And despite the heart palpitations she gave us over looming deadlines, we wish her the absolute best. We hope one of the first units is logistics. Ladies and gentlemen, Vanessa Ustepin.
Florence is one of the most caring students in the year group, but don't let that deceive you into thinking she's a pushover. Principled and always defending what is right, Florence knows how to stand her ground. If the colourful language she used as she launched herself off a bridge in Verbia is anything to go by, her true sweetness is not always expressed verbally. Fondly known as a young expert in Swiss climate change policy, this intelligent and impressive young model will go far as she studies economics and management at HEC, Haute Études Commerciales, here at the University of Lausanne. Ladies and gentlemen, Florence Orban.
Mathilde is a determined and focused young woman who has become a welcome but somewhat of a rare commodity this year in this year's group. She has never missed a deadline, or at least not according to official documentation. Although her teachers comment on her being quiet in class, they have noticed that this does not seem to be the case elsewhere. Whether surfing in Biarritz, catching butterflies in Transylvania, or organizing a concert to raise money for the women's shelter in Rajasthan, Mathilde does everything with gutsy enthusiasm. We wish her all the best as she moves on to major in animal sciences at Oregon State University. Ladies and gentlemen, Mathilde Oria Royo. Ladies and gentlemen, if you could just give us a moment in order to transition to the next group.
Mathilda displays a fine and agile mind, which has enabled her to make the most of her time here at ISL. A perfectionist who has always pushed herself to the limit during the IB Diploma programme, Mathilda generously shares her creative organisational techniques with her peers and her caring and warm nature with her friends. Knowing something herself is not enough for Matilda, as she works to ensure everyone else also understands. Our love goes with you, Matilda, as you take a very well-deserved gap year where you're not yet sure. Ladies and gentlemen, Matilda Ottersted.
Understated, unfussed, and quietly hardworking, Jaina is known for staying strong in the face of adversity. She has an inner calm and a gentle smile that can disarm even the most tense of situations. Deeply loyal and a fantastic friend to her peers, Jaina is quick to help, support, and defend the people she cares for. She's planning to study a degree in law at the University of Manchester in the United Kingdom. We have little doubt that her multifaceted qualities will serve her well in this perfectly suited career path. Ladies and gentlemen, Jaina Patel.
Benjamin is what we fondly call an ISL baby, for he has been with us since he was 4 years old. Creative and passionate about theatre, Benjamin has made many appearances on stage over his time at ISL. He's impressed us Oliver and in A Christmas Carol, not to forget his outstanding performance in the collaborative project for IB Diploma in Theatre, as well as backstage in Our Country's Good. In everything, Benjamin is honest and polite, a perfect gentleman. It comes as no surprise, therefore, that after taking a gap year to explore different experiences in travel and further learning, he will head to l'École Hôtelière Lausanne. Ladies and gentlemen, Benjamin Pons.
An impressive young lady, Marina has gone from strength to strength, socially, academically, and in her welcome contributions to the school. Undoubtedly someone who played a role in shaping the spirit of her year group, no one will forget the disco diva and flares from the Year 12 Wacky Week secret theme. Great at asking questions, which often stump her teachers, and with an enviable ability to glance at her notes and somehow know everything, Marina has both the curiosity and memory to achieve great things. We hope to see Marina from time to time next year as she is planning to study medicine at UNIL. Now more than ever, the field of medicine needs people like you. Ladies and gentlemen, Marina Reinertz.
Determined but understated, resilient and a talented all-rounder, Olivia could choose to study pretty much anything and excel in it. But Olivia is not only a great academic, she is also caring and sensitive, passionate about her service experience and strong in her convictions. She does not easily back down, much to the annoyance of Daniel, something we suspect she secretly enjoys. Olivia will go far. For now, this will be to study economics and management and arts, culture and communication at Bocconi in Milan, Italy. Ladies and gentlemen, Olivia Roccavilla.
With us from Reception 3, apart from a few years spent in the Philippines, Max has spent much of his life here at ISL. That experience has shaped this impressive young man. He is empathetic towards others and does not take his own situation for granted. Max is always optimistic and is not deterred by setbacks. We will remember him well for his kindness and his stage performance in The Crucible and as Caesar in Our Country's Good. His positivity and enthusiasm are hard to ignore, as is his strong will. Max leaves us to study international business in The Hague University of Applied Sciences. Ladies and gentlemen, Max Rowland.
From Tituba to David Collins, as you will hear later today, Clara is a gifted and talented performer. With the voice of a soul sister and the attitude to match, Clara is a force to be reckoned with. But she is not only a wonderful performer, she is also a team player, exuding grace and kindness in all that she does. Whether as part of a cast, at Sous Populaire, or raising awareness for autism, Clara is quite simply an inspiring role model. Not deterred by the competitiveness of pursuing a future in the performing arts, Clara leaves us to study a bachelor's degree in musical theatre at MJA Academy of Performing Arts in Edinburgh. Ladies and gentlemen, Clara Smith.
Humble, perceptive, determined, interested, fun, genuine, the list of positive adjectives to describe Tom goes on. Always modeling his values, Tom seized every opportunity that came his way during the IB diploma course. From theater and athletics to serious academics, Tom is multifaceted and well-rounded. During his role as elected year group ambassador, he has, up to this very day, worked tirelessly to improve the community around him. Tom is a natural leader and is already carving out a bright future as he takes up his offer to major in political science at McGill University. Ladies and gentlemen, Tom Seshran.
Simultaneously, statue-like and relaxed, Oliver can do a great impression of a sulky teenager. Yet, this could not be further from the truth. As behind that calm appearance, there is a fine young man with defined opinions and values, which he remains faithfully true to. Sensitive, loyal, pragmatic, and with a desert-dry sense of humour, this year group will also miss Oliver's fashion touch. Always adding value, we are confident that Oliver will go on to achieve great things in the world of international management as he heads off to study at the University of Warwick. Ladies and gentlemen, Oliver Stockland.
Jade's teachers are unanimous in their views that this is one of the hardest working and most conscientious students in the year group. She uses her artistic strengths to both confront her and delight. Her artwork, as well as her contributions to the school newspaper, The High, are recognized as excellent by all in our school community. We will miss you dearly, Jade, but expect your future will be dazzling as you leave us to study illustration at the Leeds Art University in the United Kingdom. Ladies and gentlemen, Jade Tan.
A free spirit and a loyal friend, Nicolo's positivity is perhaps only surpassed by the number of centimetres he's grown in the last 4 years. Appreciated by his friends for his consistent understanding and his always look on the bright side of life attitude, Nicolo leaves the school a slightly better place than he found it. This kind young man marches to the beat of his own drum, and his sense of humour and persistence, we are confident that with his great sense of humour and persistence, we are confident a bright future awaits for him. Nicolo leaves us to study economics at the University of Pavia in Italy, and our very best wishes accompany you. Ladies and gentlemen, Nicolo Torno.
We all know it is not straightforward changing schools, and Year 13 gave a collective gasp of sympathy and admiration when Takumi, amongst others, joined ISL last August. With new teachers to get to know during the final stages of his IAs, Takumi worked his very best to succeed in all of his classes. Sometimes the journey is more important than the destination. For Takumi, it does not matter whether he is in class or on a field trip to CERN. He loves to ponder various ideas, both theoretical and practical. We wish Takumi well as he moves to study at Kansai University in Japan for the next stage of his educational career. Ladies and gentlemen, Takumi Tsushida.
With the maturity and outlook of an adult, even when he was 12, and always genuinely interested in others, Elliot's relentless positivity and charm will take him far. Entrepreneurially and nutritionally minded, he ran a lucrative sandwich business from his locker in Year 11. And he didn't grumble when told to stop. Instead, he just moved to take over the cafeteria committee. Equally committed and passionate about his studies, there were times when his teachers worried that he knew more about a topic than they did. Undebatably well-rounded, we cannot forget the time he skipped class to fly a plane. Elliot leaves us to study history and political economy at King's College London. Ladies and gentlemen, Elliot Turner.
Laura's consistent kindness and concern for others is a true reflection of her inner self. Most comfortable in straightforward situations, her sense of loyalty makes her despise conflict and seek out compromise. These values have attracted a solid circle of friends to whom Laura's friendships means everything. We are surely sad to see her leave ISL, but we rest assured that a bright future awaits her as she plans to study a science degree at the University of Maastricht in the Netherlands. Lucky are the people who will have the pleasure to know you. Ladies and gentlemen, Laura Van Gils.
Diligent and persistent, Fritz sets himself high goals and leaves no stone unturned to achieve them. Some would say Fritz is determined. Others might say stubborn. Either way, he has a very bright future in the realm of negotiation, as he demonstrated over the last 18 months with each scrutinised mark scheme an additional point obtained. Hard-working and precise, Fritz has an impressive attendance record with not one late to homeroom in year 13, a rare feat indeed. We assume this punctuality will serve him well as he moves to study at the University of Twente in the Netherlands. We wish him all the very best. Ladies and gentlemen, Fritz van Solingen.
From the explosion of energy and enthusiastic outbursts of year 7, Angelica has become one of the most focused, fastidious, and single-minded diploma students. A terrifying performance, for Joseph at least, in our country's good, and a formidable opponent on the netball court. Angie is always great fun. As a passionate historian, not afraid to tackle difficult questions, and determined to include the influence and perspectives of less prominent figures in history, it is of no surprise that Angelica is planning to study a degree in history at the London School of Economics, something that makes Miss Morgan very proud. Ladies and gentlemen, Angelica Gasbeck.
And with Angie, this concludes the individual component of this morning's graduation ceremony. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is the moment we have been waiting for. Miss Gifford and I have the honour of officially presenting to you the International School graduating class of 2020. Thank you.
Next on our program, Clara Schmidt, Kyria McMinn-Mitchell, and Letty Gorey will be playing a musical piece called Becoming Free, written by our very own Clara Schmidt.
Each year, the ISL staff enjoy creating a musical tribute to the Year 13 students. We hope you will enjoy watching this year's as much as we enjoyed creating it.
I heard you say, at least not today.
Next up, I'd like to introduce our two Year 13 representative graduation speakers, Kevin Benasic and Giovanna Macedo.
Friends, siblings, parents, teachers, and class of 2020.
Today is an exciting day. We are incredibly happy and grateful to be sharing this moment with you. Take a second to appreciate where you are right now. The DP program has been quite the roller coaster, but this long ride is coming to an end.
Classmates, whether you've been here all of your lives or joined ISL in primary or secondary school, most of us began the DP together as a tight-knit, united community.
Our DP journey together started with our Year 12 trip to Verbier, scaling terrifying via ferratas, powering through our Group 4 projects, and also jumping off bridges. Later on in the year, we completed our first COK presentations. And as in every year, we had countless victories and outstanding performances in sports and arts alike.
And to top this all off, who could forget our triumphant final Wacky Week, where we transformed ISL into a music festival and partied hard on school campus.
No other year group could say that.
What a year it was. We finished year 12 on a high note, together and with enthusiasm, pride, and school spirit.
Year 13 has been full of surprises. First, our class family grew by 16 students. Then we went on a wonderful trip to Biarritz.
Here, we spent many hours working on the famous extended essay, Learning to Surf, and bonding with our new peers, who fit in perfectly.
Many deadlines soon started to pile up. EE, IAs, TOK essays, and TOK presentations, again. Oh, the joys of TOK. I don't think we're going to miss that. Most of us thought we were going to drown in our workload.
But we kept going, with smiles on our faces and countless stress breaks, playing ping pong or sleeping in the lounge. And of course, totally doing our work all the time.
As if all of this wasn't enough, our final year together was cut short by a month. We had a pretty unlucky last day. And if you don't remember the date, quick reminder, it was Friday the 13th.
It didn't feel like it should have. Where was Wacky Week? What about pranks and the senior assembly?
There was not enough time to savor our final moments together, to thank the people we needed to, and reflect on the conclusion of our high school lives as we would have liked. Despite this abrupt ending, we were and are still able to celebrate together.
We also became the first IB class to graduate without passing our exams. None of us expected this to happen, yet we still gave our education our all, even from home, and made the most of these unprecedented circumstances. All of these factors make today so much more memorable, valuable, and special. We are incredibly proud of our achievements, successes, and unity as a class.
We rode this roller coaster, always seeking the positives and keeping a good spirit. And here we are today, but we were not on this journey alone. And we have some very special people to thank.
First and foremost, our families. You have been a source of constant support and encouragement, especially through unique and tough times.
You stayed unwaveringly by our sides and ensured we'd stayed healthy, mentally and physically.
Despite the stress and numerous DP-induced breakdowns. Even in the most uncertain of times, during quarantine, you took care of us.
No matter where the next phase of our lives take us, know that we are forever grateful for this, and for giving us the opportunity to blossom into the young adults we are today.
We know that wherever we go, we can always find our way back home.
We also want to say a special thank you to the PTA room reps who organized events and supported us all throughout these 2 years.
We are especially grateful for you bringing us Starbucks during the exams.
Although we were wondering, will there be a final Starbucks reunion?
You did so much more, including organizing the now canceled Mykonos trip.
You have been on top of it from day one, even with the most spontaneous of events, like the very enjoyable last-minute celebration to mark our unexpected final day of school.
Thank you to the graduation committee as well. Although we weren't able to have original party or ceremony, you have worked hard to make today's graduation the best it could possibly be.
We will cherish this day forever.
We also wish to express our deep thanks to our teachers. Not only have you been crucial to our education, you have also been a source of constant support and encouragement.
Although we might have been frustrated by your planning at times,
Especially when you seem to coordinate all of your deadlines at the same time.
we are very grateful to have had you as our teachers for the last 2 years, and for your generosity with extensions.
You have been the most dedicated and caring teachers we could have asked for. Your teaching ensured an excellent education where we have discovered our own potential in an international environment. Thank you for guiding us through the DP.
Last but not least, students, our friends. Look around you. See how far we've come, how we've changed, what we've become. We've become a family through the ups and downs.
But as always, we have made the best of it. Look at us today. We are graduating. We have survived the IB. And we are closer to each other because of these intense years.
And as Bob Marley once said, Gina,
Love the life you live the life you love.
we are all moving on to do something we love in a wide range of careers. Or maybe for some of us, it's a gap year. We are all moving on to do something new.
While we may soon be far apart from each other, in our next steps, we will be covering the globe. While some of us will stay in Switzerland, others will go to the UK. Others will even cross oceans to go study in the US, Canada, and even Japan.
But this distance doesn't matter. Wherever and however far we go, we know we will stay connected.
Class of 2020, even in these recent times of uncertainty and loneliness, we have still been able to thrive.
And that is the spirit we need to take on for life. Not for an ordinary life, but for lives where we strive to follow our passions and fulfill our dreams.
Graduation may be the end to this chapter, but look on the bright side. It also marks the beginning of an exciting new chapter.
In fact, there has never been a more exciting time to graduate. Things are changing, and you, are at the heart of it.
Today, ISL Class of 2020, our lives begin.
And we can't wait to see what the future holds.
Kevin, you got the thing?
Next, the class of 2020 would like to share with you our own music tribute, our own quarantine version of Don't Stop Believing. Thank you.
Just a small town girl living in a lonely world. She took the midnight
Ladies and gentlemen, it has now come to the end of our graduation ceremony. We would like to celebrate our new graduates by raising a glass with you in the lobby to mark the end of this incredible journey and the start of what is sure to be a remarkable new one. We also ask that teachers and family members remain seated until our graduates have left the hall. However, for one final time today, let us give one final rousing round of applause for the International School of Lausanne, class of 2020.
Ladies and gentlemen, almost graduates, not quite, welcome to this afternoon's graduation ceremony. Graduation ceremonies in general are long, and the ISL graduation ceremony is certainly long. In some, but not all respects, actually, most graduation ceremonies are quite similar. At ISL, we don't have caps and gowns, and we don't shift a tassel from one side to another. We don't throw mortarboards into the air. Nobody mentions that they hurt when they come down. But we do ask young people to walk across a stage after what seems to be an interminable wait. We do hand over a piece of paper. Parents do cry with pride, or they sometimes sigh with relief. We do, unfortunately for you, do speeches. It's not all that remarkable that most graduations share many of the same traditions, because they're all making the same statement. Days as a student are ending, life as an adult citizen is beginning. And tomorrow, this group of young people will realise, like many hundreds of them have done before, that the day after feels different, because it is different. They will have taken a symbolic step to the next chapter of their life in front of their classmates and their teachers and their families. Families and other people who have supported them emotionally and financially during school will both have teared up and beamed. All of that hard work and that dedication will have been recognised. But I think that, much as our graduation is similar to others, it's also unique. It's unique because I think a school is the sum of its parts. And I think that ISL is a community like no other. Later, Simon and Sarah will talk through what it is that makes this such a singular and amazing group of young people. And this year, our graduation is particularly unique, if something can be particularly unique, because of course this is not at all how any of us imagined it would be. We can certainly feel the loss of not all being together, and we can certainly point to a long list of things leading up to today that were far harder than really they should have been. But it is old wisdom that while we can't control events, we can control our reactions to them. And I think we can see, perhaps more clearly, as a result of these difficult circumstances, that whatever the circumstances, it's us and our choices that shape a particular moment. The author, David Brooks, talks about choice, and he says that freedom is not an ocean that you want to swim in forever. It's a river that you want to get across so that you can commit and you can choose to plant yourself on the other side. What I think will happen is that the difficulties of this period will teach us all something about the importance of choosing. That, and about how there is more in us than we think. And as a group of people, these young people will know that better than most. And I think that's a superpower. So I want to acknowledge that backdrop here, and I want to say how proud I am of these young people for all they have done at school and for school. I also want to acknowledge how well they have chosen to manage the past months. As well as the great hopes we have for you, we now have even greater trust that you will go on to choose bright futures. So well done to you all, and I'd like to say welcome to whatever it is that comes next. And now it's my pleasure to hand over to Silvan Hoevenaars. Silvan is the chair of the board. He's from the Netherlands, and he has a daughter in year 7 who, very surprisingly, will be up on this stage almost before he realizes it. Silvan.
Thank you, Frazer. Good afternoon. It's a pleasure to see each and every one of you here in person. The organizing committee has done an amazing job in making this event happen. I'm honored to celebrate the class of 2020. Today is about you. During the time at school, you have likely had little encounters with the board. We mainly focus on long-term planning for ISL. I can imagine that you and your families have done a lot of planning as well lately. And things don't always go according to plan. Just consider the unprecedented coronavirus outbreak that we're dealing with at the moment. We as a board have been thinking about you and what this meant in terms of your final exams, in terms of graduation, or even university enrollment. We've been painfully aware of the impact this crisis has had in your final year at ISL. The most critical part of your studies for the IB diploma. But we think that the ISL program has equipped you with self-knowledge, confidence, and ambition for the uncertainty ahead. You've learned to work hard, to think independently, to collaborate across boundaries in backgrounds, cultures, and ideas. You're ready to play an active role in creating the future. Your future, our future. Think about the world that you want to create, because sure enough, your efforts will help shape it. And please remember ISL as you start your new journey. You have a standing invitation to come back and help our school, be it as a member of staff, an ASA coach, or maybe a parent, or even a board member. Stay connected through the alumni network. This is a powerful network available to you as you make your way in the world. In closing, I would like to thank the parents and the families for their contributions to the ISL community. This day is also about you. And thank you to the teachers and staff for their dedication to make our children into the fine human beings they are today. And to the class of 2020, today is about you, about being proud of your achievements. So congratulations. Now it is my pleasure to introduce Sarah Gifford, the high school principal, and Simon Foley, the secondary school principal, for the next staged event and the individual handout of diplomas.
That we are here today to celebrate these magnificent young people is truly an honour and a small miracle for which we are truly grateful. Whilst we may not have speeches from Michelle Obama or Bill Gates, what we do have is a personal graduation with something said about each student, our own potential future world leaders. As Mr. Cairns alluded to, with 49 graduates this afternoon, it may feel a little long. Although we apologise for the length of the ceremony, we believe these fine young people are worth it. Thank you to our many colleagues and parents whose hard work made today possible. In particular, the excellent Year 13 homeroom team for contributing anecdotes and fond memories and writing the first draft of these lovely speeches. We hope we can do them justice.
Each graduating student was asked to contribute a handful of photos of their time in the diploma program. Thank you to all of you who did this. We have selected, edited, swapped, and cropped, and for some of you, we've even hunted for the photos ourselves. So if you do not see exactly what you sent us, please forgive us. Any changes that have been made were with love and the best of intentions.
As our Year 13 graduates leave the school they know and love to embark upon the next stage of their education, we want to pay tribute to each individual student on behalf of their teachers and the ISL community. They have modelled our values, and we know that their honesty and care and concern for others will allow them to be open to differing perspectives, values and traditions as they travel through life.
This afternoon, we proudly celebrate their achievements and fondly remember the challenges they have faced along the way. They came to ISL as children and leave as responsible adults and true global citizens. They leave with energy and optimism, good values and kind hearts, excitement and a sense of fun. We ceremonially launch them into the big wide world, a world that needs their energy and their idealism, their optimism and their passion. First up today, we have Miko Banka. Our first graduate is mature, honest, and unassuming. Mikolai, affectionately known as Miko, is a genuine team player and highly respected by his teachers and peers. A committed and hardworking student with a thirst for knowledge, Miko is well known for an eclectic mix of interests, which extend from Bitcoin to a fascinating penchant for wearing skin suits whenever the occasion allows. Miko, we wish you a very enriching gap year as you seek to gain work experience, improve your design skill, and hopefully travel the world before studying industrial design at École Cantonale d'Art Lausanne. Ladies and gentlemen, Mikolai Banka.
Bright-eyed, creative and authentic, it was a joy to learn that Tabia would join ISL after impressing us all when she visited our campus in June last year. An ethically minded young woman who not only makes conscious decisions about her impact on the world around her, but also understands the power of young adults to enact change and her own important role in influencing societal norms. Tabia is planning to study chemistry with biochemistry at Heriot-Watt University in Scotland. There is no doubt that a kind and reflective attitude will positively impact the future. Ladies and gentlemen, Tabia Batch. Rashid is what we fondly call an ISL baby, for he joined Reception 3 when he was just 3 years old. Ambitious, humorous, and sometimes fabulous, these three words represent our very own Student Parliament President, Rashid Baxter. His commitment to the Student Council and love for script writing, along with at least one questionable lunchtime lecture, will be fondly remembered at ISL. Rashid plans to study economics at St. Gallen here in Switzerland. This unique young man is determined to change the world using his talents and skills with speaking and storytelling. Although we suspect his economics and politics may need to move a little closer to the centre for real change to happen. We will certainly miss you, Rashid. Ladies and gentlemen, Rashid Baxter.
Maya is also one of our ISL babies, joining us in January 2007 as a cute as can be 5-year-old. This is the only school that this impressive young woman has ever known. Despite the various challenges that school sometimes brought, Maya has always maintained her characteristic warmth and deep empathy and care for her peers. Sport is her passion, be it as a valued member of the ski, basketball, or football teams. This is combined with an authentic love for people and places. Unsurprisingly, Maya will take a gap year to gain work experience, travel the world, and to continue with service learning. We wish her all the best. Ladies and gentlemen, Maya Bergen Kumar.
With us from year one and highly regarded by faculty and peers, Paolo is described as stable under pressure, reliable, kind, patient, and generous with his time. However, it is with anything and everything related to computing where Paolo truly shines. His exceptional skills resulted in him serving as an unofficial tech support for his classmates, and we are slightly embarrassed to say most of his teachers, for his entire secondary school life. Few doubt that studying computer science here at EPFL is Paolo's destiny. His current teachers already believe he is at the industry standard. We are confident that EPFL will learn as much from Paolo as we have. Ladies and gentlemen, Paolo Celati.
Edgy, calm, and mature, Bora's expressions speak volumes as he manages to communicate entire conversations with just the raise of an eyebrow or a knowing look. He showed us that less is more, as well as how to quietly be a good friend whilst observing the world at a careful pace. Indeed, we wonder if his temporary Texas tattoo will still be there at class reunions. Bora's logical mind and economy of words will serve him well as he moves to the University of Twente, Netherlands, to study a degree in computer science. Ladies and gentlemen, Bora Chipke.
Another reception 3 child. Despite a break in Italy for a couple of years, Gaia has consistently demonstrated her sparkling energy, warmth, and good humour. This is a young person who seeks to understand the world around her, whilst remaining tied to her home country of Italy. Her extended essay on health disparities between Lombardy and Tuscany was simply a delight. Many a class or sports team has been better off for Gaia's brand of passionate but positive leadership. You have many victories ahead of you, Gaia, as you head to study European and international law at the University of Maastricht in the Netherlands. Ladies and gentlemen, Gaia Denny.
Carlos has shown impressive dedication throughout his time at ISL, both in and out of the classroom. Always quick to find humor, even when it's not meant to be part of the lesson. Carlos also impresses with his thoughtful and perceptive nature. His calm and quiet manner in lessons juxtaposes against his need for speed, as often demonstrated on the ISL ski team. He models to his peers the power of going gently, and his kind manner will hold him in good stead for the future friendships that he will have and broader goals. We wish you well, Carlos, as you leave us to study mechanical engineering in Munich or Aachen in Germany next year. Ladies and gentlemen, Carlos Disch.
calm, loyal, and committed, and with a suspected heart rate of around 20 beats a minute, there has never been a more stoic IB diploma student than Ozan. Whether in mathematics, physics, or computer science, no problem ever appears to faze this young man. His nerves of steel will serve him well in even the most stressful future professional situations. Appreciative of diversity, he has contributed a great deal to the spirit and cohesion of this year group, with his kind and friendly approach to all. We are confident that success awaits as Ozan heads to EPFL to study electrical and electronic engineering. Ladies and gentlemen, Erdal Ozan.
Alex is not here with us today, but we'd still like to share a little about her. She joined ISL in the summer of 2019 and made an immediate impression on all who met her with her big smile and great sense of humor. As well as being a fierce competitor and an especially strong swimmer, we soon came to appreciate that we had a great filmmaking talent in our midst. Her production for English will be remembered as one of the most entertaining things that we have yet seen. We are thrilled that Alex will continue to pursue her passion as she heads to Carey University in Paris to do a bachelor's degree in directing. Ladies and gentlemen, Alex Falcon. Artemis is the perfect demonstration of integrity and perseverance. She arrived last year and quickly settled into our school environment with an open mind and a positive attitude. There is no doubt that Artemis wins the prize for the most questions asked ever, and her inquisitive and curious mind will certainly be a real asset in her future. Artemis is taking a gap year to decide whether she wants to become a scientist, singer, designer, writer, or perhaps all of the above simultaneously. The journey is more important than the destination for this delightful young person. We wish you all the best as you determine your path. Ladies and gentlemen, Artemis Falk Antonicus.
Always showing a sense of humour and an open mind, Thor has gone down in ISL history for sending the best absence email ever written. When his grandfather's fridge and heating failed whilst travelling in an expedition truck in the Icelandic wilderness, Thor notified the school by email that he would need to miss the end of term to fly there with the spare parts. It's tough to argue with that. Principled, but also prone to dish out some spicy comments to challenge his teachers, Thor has been a real treasure in his short time at ISL. We hope that his knitting skills, lovingly modelled today, continue to be useful here at EPFL, where he plans to study mathematics. Ladies and gentlemen, Torborn Frommelt.
Charlotte, more commonly known here at ISL as Lottie, joined us just this year. Showing great resilience in the face of change, Lottie's gentle and calm nature was a positive addition in all her classes. Seen by some as a quieter member of our community, Lottie comes alive when playing the cello, as you'll see later today. Her music transforms a room. It is always evident that her love of playing is equally for herself as it is for others. It'll surprise nobody who knows this talented musician well that Lottie plans to study a degree in music at the University of Manchester, UK. Ladies and gentlemen, Charlotte Gorey. Max's warm, affable personality and wicked sense of humor has been a consistent characteristic throughout his 5 years at ISL. He takes his time to get to know others and is immensely loyal to his friends. During this challenging and unexpected last semester, he took action with a group of peers to raise class spirits through creation of funny and morale-boosting materials. We are reluctant to say goodbye, but we wish him all the best as he moves to St. Gallen to study business administration. Ladies and gentlemen, Maximilian Grisiak.
No student is more ISL than Poppy Harrison. She joined us in classes as a 3-year-old child and has never left until today. This school is the only one that this tenacious and intelligent young person has ever known. A little known fact is that even as a fetus, Poppy lived at ISL, for she was born whilst her parents lived on the school campus during its construction. An incredible fighter, always striving to do her best and inspiring others to do theirs, Poppy has been an outstanding pillar of the ISL community for 18 years. She leaves us to study English at the University of York. Our love goes with you, Poppy, as you start the new chapter of your driven but joyful life. Ladies and gentlemen, Poppy Harrison.
A true gentleman who does not seek the spotlight is how Kaita's teachers have described this humble and caring personality. His motivation to inspire others while working at Lausanne and on the school basketball team show that this is a young person who truly represents ISL values. With a great combination of academic talent, good manners, and all-round niceness, he is one of a kind. In fact, there are too few young people like Kaita. The world needs more young people of this caliber. We will miss him immensely as he moves on to study a degree in psychology, politics, law, and economics at the University of Amsterdam. Ladies and gentlemen, Kaita Hemi.
During these last 2 years, Voldemar's teachers have been truly impressed by his determination and resilience during the IB Diploma programme. This is a young man with character. Voldemar's intellectual curiosity and desert-dry sense of humour led to interesting conversations and debates with his teachers who describe him as one of the most serious students they ever taught. However, he's often discovered smiling in lessons, much to his own annoyance. Next year, Voldemar is planning to take a bachelor's degree in economics and business administration at the University of Aarhus in Denmark. We are confident, whatever it does, it will be a success. Ladies and gentlemen, a smiling Voldemar Hanari. So, if we could just ask for your patience while we give the opportunity for the students on the stage to change places.
Arnaud joined ISL this year, not so much as a new student, but more as a missing piece of the jigsaw. Ernest Hemingway says, "Courage is grace under pressure," and these words suit this young man, for there is nothing that causes him ever so slightly to flinch. The personal growth that has come from moving schools in the middle of his IB diploma and his cool response to recent challenges will hold him in good stead for the future. We wish Arnaud the best as he heads to Sheffield University in the UK to study mechanical engineering. Ladies and gentlemen, Arnaud Induni.
Victoria is simply a delight. An immensely kind and thoughtful young woman who is a wonderful friend to her classmates. Victoria has met the challenge of the IB diploma always with determination and commitment. A notable component of this was a strong involvement in the creativity, activity and service programme. Here, her experiences had a profound impact on both her and will undoubtedly shape her future decisions. Victoria will head to the École Hôtelière de Lausanne to study international hospitality management. A perfect place for this empathetic and service-minded young woman. Our very best go with you, ladies and gentlemen, Victoria Johansson.
Behind Eve's courageous outlook hides a sensitive and truly caring personality. She always gives 110%, whether for her studies, activities, or sports, and especially in the girls' fitness class, where she would regularly sweat away the stress of the IB diploma in the good company of her peers. Passionate, with a wonderfully dry sense of humor, we look forward to seeing where Eve's dreams take her as she moves to England or Ireland to study a degree in film studies and English literature at either Manchester University or Trinity College in Dublin. Ladies and gentlemen, Eve Kurt-Ellie.
We have known Max since he joined the school as a little boy in 2005 at the exact same time as me. It is difficult for us to say goodbye to the good-humoured, always smiling, rap-loving Max Lenders. Never one to shy away from a challenge by helping to install a ceiling or dig trenches in Tanzania or learning how to ski in Saas-Fee whilst in year 10, Max has always been a role model for his peers. We will remember his resilience, determination, and unfailing cheerfulness. We wish him all the best as he starts a new chapter of his life, studying sports management in The Hague in the Netherlands. It has been a pleasure for all of us to watch this young man grow up. Ladies and gentlemen, Max Lenders. As it didn't happen very often, it was always a celebration when Armand arrived to homeroom on time for 3 consecutive days. In basketball, on the other hand, his timing was always perfect. With a penchant for hands-on learning, Armand's switch from higher level to standard level geography freed up from space for him to climb Kilimanjaro in the spring. An interesting but quite extreme way to revise geography, that's for sure. His sense of humour and kindness have always been treasured by his friends and teachers. We wish him all the best as he starts a new adventure at the London School of Economics to study international relations. We just hope his lectures are not first thing in the morning. Ladies and gentlemen, Armand Lett.
A member of the ISL community since year 4, Alessio.
Hang on, sorry.
Oh, you're right.
I'll do Charles and we'll come back to Alessio.
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
Sorry, Alessio.
Okay. So, Charles, just give us a wave. There you go, wonderful. Okay. Known throughout the school for his impeccable punctuality and having emerged from middle school with a slightly unfair reputation as a naughty little boy, Charles's humble, mature, and diligent approach to all aspects of school life during the IB Diploma initially surprised many, not least, he admits, himself.
Oh, we're missing this picture.
If we can go back to Charles. We'll just wait. There we go. Still, Charles maintained an acute awareness of his core business and what could be viewed more as an optional extra, with homeroom definitely fitting into the latter category. Sport has always played a large part in Charles's life, and his cheeky chappy persona will simultaneously be sadly missed at ISL, whilst undoubtedly taking him far in life. He now heads to the University College London to study urban planning and design. We are extremely proud of the young man you've become. Ladies and gentlemen, Charles Lazinska-Brown.
All right, Alessio, back to you. A member of the ISL community since year 4, Alessio has been known throughout his time here for his warm smile, impeccable manners, illegible handwriting, and a huge sense of fun. His friendships formed here are hugely important to him and will certainly last him a lifetime. With an immaculate ability to memorize past papers, his approach to revision is already passing into ISL history. A pleasure to have in class, he was always the first to greet every teacher at the start of each lesson. We wish you well, Alessio, as you head off to study at the Lancaster University to study economics. Ladies and gentlemen, Alessio Los. With an authentic love of learning, Giovanna is curious, helpful, and driven. Her intrinsic motivation shines through in class where she engages in lessons with a keen sense of inquiry and discussion. An authentic leader, Giovanna's positive spirit and compassion for others gets the best from people, nicely demonstrated while pushing a group of volleyball players through grueling twice-weekly plyometric training for her extended essay research. All agree this young person is destined for great things. The next leg in that journey is a double major in physiology and immunology with a minor in mathematics at the University of Toronto. We wish her every success. Ladies and gentlemen, Giovanna Macedo.
This quiet, unassuming young man is a true gentle giant. Steady as a rock, Simon is never swayed from his essential self. With almost Zen-like acceptance of every situation and of those around him, his teachers would probably rather he were not quite so relaxed as about his schoolwork on occasion. However, this calmness marks a secret need for speed, and perhaps this is exactly what makes Simon such a natural for competitive car racing. We know he will take the next great adventure in his stride as he leaves us to study business administration at Hult International School of Business. Ladies and gentlemen, Simon Mann.
Carey joined ISL in the summer of 2019, and we were immediately struck by her kindness, warmth, and quiet determination. A true polymath with interests in mathematics, physics, music, and literature, Carey somehow finds the time and energy to look after everyone around her, including her teachers. Mr. Koditz, for one, will never forget the time that he arrived to the lesson to find that Carey had already started it. The whole class were fully engaged in rehearsing their own jazz ensemble. We wish Carey well as she leaves us to study physics at the University of Lancaster. Ladies and gentlemen, Carey McMinn Mitchell.
Quiet but composed, serene yet thoughtful, reflective and always considerate, it has been a great pleasure welcoming Lynn to ISL and to our community. She is integrated so well that it's hard to remember a time without her. The oldest of 5 siblings, Lynn reflects the patient responsibility that comes with such a role. If one can take care of 4 younger brothers and sisters, nothing else in life seems too difficult. Always stylishly dressed and with great poise, it is a little surprise that Lynn is planning to study fashion business at Institution Maragoni in London. It has been our great pleasure to know you. Ladies and gentlemen, Lynn Mitambo Ikobe.
Isabella carries with her a grace and goodness originating from her heart. She possesses a smile that is rarely dimmed by the circumstances around her. Her gentleness, however, belies an inner strength and determination. Whether in biology or visual arts, in or out of class, she has a quiet and unassuming leadership style in which she pushes others to do their best. Isabella's presence will be much missed as she will take some time to travel before studying international hospitality management at the École Hôtelière de Lausanne. Ladies and gentlemen, Isabella Molashi. "'Tis an ill wind that blows no one no good, and while having to change schools halfway through the diploma is clearly suboptimal, it did mean that we gained Katie for a year." Katie's infectious smile and sunny disposition surround the mind of a keen historian. It says a lot about her passion for this subject that she not only caught up on a completely different history course over the school holidays, but also voluntarily joined extra classes for the entirety of year 13. Unsurprisingly, as this history buff quotes Yeats in her yearbook, Katie is planning to study history and English at the University of Manchester. We cannot think of a more fitting next stage. Ladies and gentlemen, Katie Monaghan.
thoughtful, reflective, and laconic are all terms used to describe our next graduate, Joseph. Yet, he has made a huge contribution to ISL. As a greatly talented writer, actor, and artist, he has always been a leading light in the creative life of the school. In understated and nuanced terms, his acting talents have lit up the school stage, and his writing for the High has often kept us on our toes. It seems there is little Joseph can't do. Additionally, he may be unique in ISL's history as the only Year 13 student to ever receive a homework report in art from his dad. I'm sure that led to an interesting conversation at home. Joseph, keep contributing to all aspects of your next educational institution as you head to the University of Edinburgh to study ancient and medieval history. Ladies and gentlemen, Joseph Nobbs.
There's something swan-like about Alice. Since joining us at the start of Year 13, she's appeared to float serenely down whatever cataracts the river of life placed in her passage. But her rapid and unerring progress told us there was a lot going on beneath the surface. Seemingly unflappable, her teachers speak with one voice of her mature and focused determination, whether that manifested in organizing biology catch-up sessions or her intelligent and ambitious art pieces. Alice plans to study international relations at the University of Leeds, and we hope that her sanguine self will go on to pour oil on the troubled waters of global politics. Ladies and gentlemen, Alice Aldridge.
Another young person who has only ever known ISL as a school. For Tindra joined us as a 3-year-old. Whether bothering butterflies in Romania, ski racing in middle school, slogging up hills in the rain for international award, or conspiring in Dutch with Harry the technician, Tindra always put her heart and soul into everything that she does. A solid bedrock of her friendship group, a year group ambassador, a student journalist, and perennially the last student to be shooed out of the South Campus during lock-up duty every night, Tindra is everywhere. Tindra is hoping to study politics, international relations, and English at the New College of Humanities in London. We will miss her fondly, and we wish her very well. Ladies and gentlemen, Tindra Osterling.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you could just wait for us for a moment while we transition to our final group of graduates for this afternoon. We had always a suspicion that Annika was better at school than we were. Organized, a critical thinker, and an excellent listener, she knew exactly what was going on and remembered precisely what you said. If we forgot something, Annika would gently, ever so politely, point us in the right direction. As well as looking after the staff, Annika is a keen sportswoman, both as a snowboarder and as the bedrock of the girls' fitness sessions. Her dedication and impeccable manners will be incredibly helpful as this intelligent young woman heads off to the University of Heidelberg to study earth sciences. Ladies and gentlemen, Annika Pelzer. With maturity beyond her years and fantastic taste in music, Ellie has a grounded perspective and is highly driven to succeed. Thoughtful and exceptionally kind, she will be remembered as an amazing student council events officer. Equally involved in the basketball team, she brought joy and positivity to each training session. At the same time, she has never lost focus on her studies, and we look forward to seeing what happens next as she leaves us to study English literature at the University of Edinburgh. Ladies and gentlemen, Ellie Parsons.
Apostolis is a real gentleman, unfailingly polite, and, due to his penchant for spending 5 minutes of every lesson at the water fountain, very well hydrated. A man of contradiction, Ap loves a homeroom argument, but protests noisily about social and emotional learning. Grumbles about mathematics, but has a mathematical tattoo. And is equally happy when writing his computer science course or talking about MCU, Marvel Comics Universe, apparently. A larger-than-life character, Apostolis is planning to study electrical engineering at the University of Twente, where we are sure that sparks will fly. Ladies and gentlemen, Apostolis Patrikalos. It has been our absolute pleasure to have Charlotte join us here for a year at ISL. Exuding warmth and a genuine care for others, she lights up her room with her presence. Charlotte is a dedicated volleyball player and athlete. Decidedly well-rounded, her athletic abilities are balanced with her passion in the arts, where her courage and exploration of ideas have led her to new heights of expression. It's with no surprise that Charlotte leaves us to pursue a fine arts foundation year and then a degree at Bath Spa University in the UK. Ladies and gentlemen, Charlotte Pieros.
Connie demonstrates quite literally that still waters run deep in her lusciously colored artwork, an ethereal exploration of the sensation of being underwater. As one of her passions, swimming has sustained her through the ups and downs of the challenging diploma program as well. A quiet, reflective thinker, Connie is also a woman of action. Along with her inseparable friend Ping, she dug the first hole of what later became the South Campus Garden Pond. Connie will need all her creativity and practicality as she takes up her place to study industrial design and technology at the Loughborough University in the United Kingdom. We wish her well. Ladies and gentlemen, Connie Prieto Merida. There are two ways of thinking about things in this world, Daniel's way and the wrong way. Always outnumbered, never outgunned was his approach to discussions on the year group WhatsApp. Let us not forget the inauguration of Danek's debate day in homeroom and some lively opinion pieces in the high. We are now genuinely worried that without Danek's to challenge received wisdom, things are going to be just a little bit dull at school. We don't really think it's necessary to stay, but stick to your ideals, Daniel, as you head to study computer science at Royal Holloway University. Ladies and gentlemen, Daniel Santos Puedrabuena.
Despite his best attempts to hide it, Misha is first and foremost a caring person who always keeps an eye out for his friends. Thoughtful and empathetic, even in the midst of a pandemic, he has found ways to repay the Year 11 random acts of kindness by preparing some advice on how to manage the delights of the IB Diploma programme. A student with many artistic talents, he writes poetry, records his own music. Misha, we would like to express our appreciation of your sensitivity. And we wish you very well as you head to, are you ready for this? Rensselaer Polytechnic Institution in upstate New York to major in information technology and web science with a concentration in data analytics and artificial intelligence. Ladies and gentlemen, Misha Skakolo.
Mariette joined us just 2 years ago and very quickly established herself as a compassionate, gentle, and thoughtful soul. Mariette is someone who knows what she wants and will work tirelessly to achieve it. These qualities have put her right at the center of any team she has joined and proved invaluable in her role on the events team of the Student Council. Mariette is leaving us today to study hospitality and management at the Lyon Institute of Higher Education in Switzerland, where she will surely honor the 2 scholarships that she has obtained. We only wish we could have kept you for a little longer. Ladies and gentlemen, Mariette Shun.
James is certainly one of the gentlest and most consistently positive people you could ever hope to meet. We sometimes wonder whether there is anything that could ever ruffle this cool and collected young man. A great observer of life and an exceptionally deep thinker, he has quietly gone about the business of developing an excellent academic record whilst also nurturing a deeply creative side. All this, paired with an unassuming determination, will stand him in good stead as he takes up a place to study industrial design at Straight School of Design in Paris. We will miss his calming presence. Ladies and gentlemen, James Sheng.
An independent thinker, Lusayo marches very much to the beat of her own drum and not to the beat of the ISL deadline calendar. Yet this passionate, intelligent, and unassuming young woman has been on an incredible journey of her own in these 2 short years at ISL. Initially quiet and extremely shy, she immersed herself in the life of the school, playing on the varsity basketball team, performing in the high school play, and joining the debate club where she really came alive. A passionate advocate for the rights and well-being of others, we expect Lusayo will continue to thrive as she moves to the University of Toronto in Canada to study social sciences. Ladies and gentlemen, Lusayo Simwaka.
Genuine, kind, and always attentive, Anushka adds a smile and positivity to every lesson. What we'd really like to do is clone a series of Anushkas so there is always one in any given year group. This would, A, significantly improve the school's academic results. B, increase job satisfaction as we would be secure that at least one student is paying attention. C, just make everything a little bit more positive. An absolute pleasure to be around. We are going to miss Anushka greatly. We wish you every success as she goes on to study biomedical sciences at the University of Geneva. Ladies and gentlemen, Anushka Singh. When David joined us in Year 10, we thought we might have trouble on our hands. The reality could not have been further from the truth. His unannounced trip to scale the heights of Kilimanjaro earlier this year illustrates the independence of mind and unbounded determination that are just some of the qualities of this remarkable young man. But what really makes David stand out are his sensitivity and care for others, along with his passion for the ideas of social justice. These are precisely the qualities that will mark him out on his journey to become a doctor as he leaves us to study medicine at Imperial College London. Ladies and gentlemen, David Skiggin.
A talented but modest sportsman who has obtained several caps for Switzerland in rugby, we had to watch out for Sam's absence during the Six Nations season. In the classroom, some teachers might describe Sam as energy efficient, but his passion came through in economics, where he managed to write an entire essay on paper clips, something that will be etched on Mr. Brunel's heart for some time. Sam is immensely likable, open-minded, and good-natured. This will suit him well as he plans to study international hospitality management at École Hôtelier de Lausanne. Ladies and gentlemen, Sam Stanbury.
Nadia likes to think about things before she does them, which for a teenager is somewhat unusual. Nadia thought about maths and then decided it was important. Nadia thought about basketball. She decided she wanted to play it. Nadia thought about dating, had a long conversation with Meryl about it when she should have been doing physics, and the rest, as they say, is history. In the International Award, Nadia thought about climbing hills and then prepared a series of routes to avoid as many of them as possible. We wish her every success as she thinks she has decided to study architecture at the University of Bath. Ladies and gentlemen, Nadia van Dijk.
Some young people have poise beyond their years. An accomplished gymnast, as well as a powerful thinker, Charlotte is regarded by many as one of the kindest and most thoughtful students in her year group, often quietly and spontaneously leaving a little note or present for someone who needs it. Charlotte's quiet, modest demeanor masks a ferocious intellect and a passionate determination to succeed in her chosen field. This year, she represented ISL at the prestigious La Science Appelle les Jeunes, which only made her more determined to follow her destiny as a scientist. We wish her every success, suggests us to possibility that she will study chemistry at University College London. Ladies and gentlemen, Charlotte Berlean.
A fitting last graduate. Grace Ann's ISL journey started in Reception 3 when she was just 3 years old. When we think about Grace Ann, it's difficult not to think of the children's book series, The Mr. Men, or more particularly, Little Miss Sunshine. Nothing seems to sway her from a positive outlook on life. Perhaps it was just the hypothermia setting in, but after the third day of solid rain on her international award, Grace Ann was still grinning. Through even the most difficult times, she offered strength and care to her friends, compassion to her classmates, and light in every lesson. We wish Grace Ann well as she moves to Canada to study life sciences at the University of Toronto. Ladies and gentlemen, Grace Ann Westclitz. Excuse me guys, you stood up just a little bit early. If you could just sit back down for one moment. So, this brings us to the end of the individual part of our ceremony this afternoon. Therefore, it is the moment we have been waiting for, and it is my great pleasure to formally present to you the International School of Lausanne graduating class of 2020. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'll save you from getting sore hands.
Next on our program today, Clara Schmidt, Kyria McMinn-Mitchell, and Lottie Gorey will be playing a musical piece called Becoming Free, written by our very own Clara Schmidt.
up singing songs of love. Time moves past our lives, falling out of place. I will act with grace and I'll go, living with what I know. The arrow points on ahead.
Every year, lovingly guided by Mr. Nobbs, the ISL staff create a musical tribute to the Year 13 students. We hope you will enjoy watching this year's video as much as we enjoyed creating it.
Slip inside the eye of your mind.
don't look back in anger. I heard you say, so Sally can wait. She knows it's too late as we're walking on by. My soul slides away, but don't look back in anger. Don't look back in anger. I heard you say, at least not today.
Next, I would like to welcome Kevin Benasik and Giovanna Macedo up to speak on behalf of the Year 13 class, Year of 2020 class graduates, to talk a little bit about the year.
Friends, siblings, parents, teachers, and class of 2020.
Today is an exciting day. We are incredibly happy and grateful to be sharing this moment with you. Take a second to appreciate where we are right now. The DP program has been quite the roller coaster, but this long ride is coming to an end.
Classmates, whether you've been here all your lives or joined in secondary or primary school, most of us started the DP together as a tight-knit, united class.
Our DP journey together started with our Year 12 trip to Verbier, scaling terrifying via ferratas, powering through our Group 4 projects, and also jumping off bridges. Later on in the year, we completed our TOK presentations, and as in every year, we had countless victories and outstanding performances in sports and arts alike.
And to top this all off, who could forget our triumphant final Wacky Week, where we transformed ISL into a music festival and partied hard on school campus.
No other year group could say that.
What a year it was. We finished year 12 on a high note, together, and with enthusiasm, pride, and school spirit.
Year 13 has been full of surprises. First, our class family grew by 16 students. Then we went on a wonderful trip to Biarritz.
Here, we spent many hours learning to surf, working on the famous extended essay, and bonding with our new peers who fit in perfectly.
Many deadlines soon started to pile up. EEs, IAs, TOK essays, and TOK presentations, again. Oh, the joys of TOK. I think we can all agree we will not be missing that. Most of us thought we were going to drown in our workload.
But we kept going, with smiles on our faces and countless stress breaks, playing ping pong or sleeping in the lounge. And of course, totally doing our work, all the time.
As if all of this wasn't enough, our final year together was cut short by a month. We had a pretty unlucky last day. And if you don't remember the date, quick reminder, it was Friday the 13th.
It didn't feel like it should have. Where was Wacky Week? What about pranks and the senior assembly?
There was not enough time to savor our final moments together, to thank the people we needed to, and reflect on the conclusion of our high school lives as we would have liked. Despite this abrupt ending, we were and are still able to celebrate together.
We also became the first IB class to graduate without writing our exams. None of us expected this to happen, yet we still gave our education our all, even from home, and made the best of these unprecedented circumstances. All of these factors make today so much more memorable, valuable, and special. We are incredibly proud of our achievements, successes, and unity as a class.
We rode this roller coaster, always seeking the positives and keeping a good spirit. And here we are today, But we were not on this journey alone, and so we have some very special people to thank.
First and foremost, our families. You have been a source of constant support and encouragement, especially through unique and tough times.
You stayed unwaveringly by our sides and ensured we'd stayed healthy, mentally and physically.
Despite the stress and numerous DP-induced breakdowns, even in the most uncertain of times during quarantine, you took care of us.
No matter where the next phase of our lives take us, know that we are forever grateful for this and for giving us the opportunity to blossom into the young adults we are today.
We know that wherever we go, we can always find our way back home.
We also want to say a special thank you to the PTA room reps who have organized events and supported us all throughout these 2 years.
We're especially grateful for Starbucks during the exams.
Although we were all wondering, will there be a final Starbucks reunion?
You did so much more, including organizing the now canceled Mykonos trip.
You've been on top of it from day one, even with the most spontaneous of events, like the very enjoyable last-minute celebration to mark our unexpected final day of school.
Thank you to the graduation committee as well. Although we weren't able to have our originally planned ceremony or party, you have worked hard to make today's graduation the best it could possibly be.
We will cherish this day forever.
We also wish to express our thanks to our teachers. Not only have you been crucial to our education, you have also been a source of constant support and encouragement,
Although we might have been frustrated by your planning at times,
especially when you seem to coordinate all of your deadlines at the same time.
we are very grateful to have had you as our teachers for the last 2 years, and also for your generosity with extensions.
You have been the most dedicated and caring teachers we could have asked for. Your teaching ensured an excellent education where we have discovered our own potential in an international environment. Thank you for guiding us through the DP.
Last but not least, students, our friends. Look around you, see how far we've come, how we've changed, and what we've become. We've become a family through the ups and downs.
But as always, we have made the best of it. Look at us today. We are graduating. We have survived the IB. And we are closer to each other because of these intense years.
And as Bob Marley once said, Gina,
Love the life you live the life you love.
we are all moving on to do something we love in a wide range of careers. Or maybe, for some of us, it's a gap year. We're all moving on to do something new.
While we may soon be very far apart, in our next steps, we will be covering the globe. While some of us might stay in Switzerland, others will go to the UK. Others will even cross oceans to go study in the US, Canada, and even Japan.
But this distance doesn't matter. Wherever and however far we go, we know we will stay connected.
Class of 2020. Even in these recent times of loneliness and uncertainty, we have still been able to thrive.
That is the spirit we need to take on for life. Not for an ordinary life, but for lives where we strive to follow our passions and fulfill our dreams.
Graduation may be the end to this chapter, but look on the bright side. It also marks the beginning of an exciting new chapter.
In fact, there has never been a more exciting time to graduate. Things are changing, and you, are at the heart of it.
Today, ISL Class of 2020, our lives begin.
And we can't wait to see what the future holds.
I'll take it. Next, the Class of 2020 would like to share with you our own music tribute, our own quarantine version of Don't Stop Believing.
Just a small town girl living in a lonely world. She took
Ladies and gentlemen, it has now come to the end of our graduation ceremony. We would like to celebrate our new graduates by raising a glass with you in the lobby to mark the end of this incredible journey and the start of what is sure to be a remarkable new one. We also ask that teachers and family members remain seated until our graduates have left the hall. However, for one final time today, let us give one final rousing round of applause to the International School of Lausanne graduating class of 2020.